Football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
This is it. 19. Mike 5-4. On him, go. 55.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike.
Check tight end. Check 55. Check tight. Shift. Slam. On him, go.
On first down, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Set. 19.
53. Mike.
Here we go.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on second and inches.
Let's get off the field, D. Watch safety creep. Safety's creeping.
Check 37.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8.
You think you're going to get this? You think you're going to get this?
Alert. Motion. Bump.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
53 to Mike. 53. Check 53. Watson 31. Down him, go.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And a very good return as he takes this all the way up to the 35-yard line. Stills the intended target. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. The 30. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 20.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Watson now to throw. Flush to his right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
To try again after the sack. Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Check 13. Check 13. Hey, alert.
53's the mic.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Looking long for Thomas. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Out. 3 down.
Hey, 47. 24. All day, baby. All day. Hey, check 26.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. A huge play that time for the Colts. 45 yards. And from down in Miami, an update. It's the Dolphins that have jumped out to the early lead against the Patriots. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Hey, kill. Watch twist. Sponge. No.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
SOS.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
But when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense, they still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
They'll run on first down. Matt. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13.
Slam. We're going to 54. Mike, 45.
Toss play. It's Mack.
Go, run.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Go, boys, go!
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards there, a big one. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff down to McCaffrey. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts' 18-yard line. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, if they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
He's checking.
They'll run it. It's Mack. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
That one covers 29 yards, first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. They'll run with Mack. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
2nd and 9 at the 28-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
All day, dog. 49, check 49, check 26, check 26.
They'll run here with Mack. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
There you go. Check back 33. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Check. Whip. Watch the word.
Hey. Check. 26.
On 3rd down, a run by Mack. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this one is right down the middle. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Don't be scared of it. 47. It's a safety crew. 26. Check 3.
On first down, it's Mack. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Well, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
No. Off.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Here we go. All day, every day, any day. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Out. Hey, watch it.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Here's Marlon Mack. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Strong right. Here we go.
Watson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
31's the mic.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Hey, watch number 5.
The final shot before the break, Watson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Oh, yeah, and here we go again. Here we go again.
They'll go again here with Madden. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Wide in. 33. On the ball.
A first down throw for Prescott. And now he's going to use his legs. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's Hines. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3. Wide, get wide. Undercrush,
This is Mack on the counter. Oh, what a juke into space. A big play there for Indy. 56 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here I come. He's coming.
They'll run here with Mack. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
On 2nd down, it's Mack, and he takes it in for a Colts score. Marlon Mack, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right?
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Justin Houston in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Mike. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson. He's got Fuller. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
53, check 53. I'm going to come back to you. 53 is mine.
Now a first down throw. Watson going deep here for Still. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game, and so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And he's got some space here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack, 66 yards. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Throwing again, it's Watson. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here I come. Here I come.
On 3rd down, Watson. And that is incomplete. Anthony Brown right there to knock it away.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They're going for it. It's Watson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. Watch the edge.
Watson looks to throw again. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense, great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 40. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. And Stills bringing it in. A very solid gain of 27. Back now in Houston. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Mike set. Mike 5-4. Check. 24. Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. Hey, me and you all day. All day. Hey, 54. You. I'm coming after you. Showing A. Shift.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Play that tight D. Short. Don't let him breathe, defense. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Here's Watson. Buying time to his left. And the pressure gets to him again. Justin Houston has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Watson, throwing on 3rd and long. And an alley to run. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker, and it's 4th. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache.
Shift. Slam.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creep.
Throwing. Prescott. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell. 3rd down here. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
36. Check.
Then we're going to 53.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Looking for Campbell downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, his 21st touchdown of the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jalen Mills. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Get that ball.
They'll run on first down. Hines. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
3rd and short yardage, Prescott. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Going deep for Hopkins. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Stay focused. Come on. All right. I got you.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Watch shift. Watch the shift.
Kill.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
The Colts take over first
Come on, fellas.
at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it.
Here's Mack. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Third and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Check.
Now a toss play. This is Mack. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Check. Lucky.
A give running right is Mack. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The Texans here on 3rd down putting an extra defender in the secondary.
I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby. Get this. You're all mine. 6 guy. Check 6 guy.
Check 3.
Check.
26.
Now Mack.
Check it out, Goose.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12.
Hey, kill. 47.
Check. Go. Kill. Check the backer.
26.
Throwing here, Prescott. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual
it.
guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they did.